Hello and welcome to math. This is our lesson for April 13th through the 19th. I'm going to go through the lesson very quickly and give you an idea of what to do. Every week on Zoom, we're going to show off your pictures because you have started those. And so everybody's going to be at a little bit different step, and that's okay. So every week you're going to show us those drawings. This week we're going to examine quadrilaterals and circles. You're going to go through the lesson, do the ed puzzle, work on your drawing, and if you have time, you're going to play Prodigy. Make sure that you listen to all these songs more than once. Most of the lesson is actually in these songs, and you're going to want to stop this video right now and listen to all the songs and do all the videos before you do the ed puzzle, because this is going to quiz you on what you were supposed to learn here. So make sure you take good notes. Also, you can have a calculator handy. This is your vocabulary, a couple of memes, and then a couple of lessons for that weren't in song. And then, of course, listen to everything and also watch the cubism video. So now you're at this point. You're doing your ed puzzle, okay? And so we're going to go over everything that's above, which is why this is the point at which you're supposed to do your ed puzzle. So I'm going to just skip down here. And we have a parallelogram. A parallelogram has four sides. The top and the bottom are parallel, and then the right side and the left side are parallel. And to find the area of a parallelogram, its area is base times height. And because the top and the bottom are the same length, the base of this is 15 and the height is 8. So the area of a parallelogram is base times height. So this is 15 because it's the same as this one. So 15 times 8. And go ahead and get your calculator and calculate that. And it's going to be in inches squared. Area is two-dimensional, okay? That doesn't mean you square anything in the problem, but it means that if you were to figure out how much area is in here, you would use little squares and count the squares, and you may have done that in elementary class. Next, we have this parallelogram. So it doesn't matter where the base is and where the height is, so as long as they're perpendicular to each other. So this is the 6, it's the base, and 12 is the height. Go ahead and calculate the area of this parallelogram and enter it into ed puzzle. Next is finding the area of a trapezoid. So this is a trapezoid. It's a quadrilateral, 4 sides. Only one pair of sides is parallel. And those parallel sides are called the bases. So what I like to do is think about a rectangle. If this were a rectangle, the area would be base times height. But we've got one short base and one long base. And so what we actually want to do is we want to average those bases. So how do you take an average of 15 and 25? You would add them together and divide by 2. So you've seen subscripts before. We used them in our physics unit. So this is base 1 and base 2. It doesn't matter which one's which. Here we got 15 and 25, okay? So we would add those together and divide by 2. Then that would be our average base. And then we have our height. So that's all that's going on here. Now, on the STAR test, which of course we're not taking this year, but you will eventually, and many other people use this form of the equation. And that's okay too. It's the same thing. They've just taken this divided by 2 and stuck it out front, and you're taking half of those bases added together and then multiplying the height. I like this version better because it reminds me that this is an average, but you don't have to. All right? So what you're going to be doing is 15 plus 25 divided by 2. Then multiplying by 5. So go ahead and figure that out. The rest of our lesson is just going to be going over some of what you were supposed to learn in all the videos. So make sure you have your notes, you have some scratch paper, a pencil, and a calculator before we continue. So your notes, a calculator, scratch paper, and pencil. So this is another trapezoid. Keep in mind, the bases are parallel to one another. and the bases must be perpendicular to the height. So there's some extra numbers here. Find the area of this trapezoid. All right, next. All the sides are equal in this shape. It is a quadrilateral, and both pairs of sides are parallel. So all of these are equal to each other, and this is parallel to this, and this is parallel to this. Which of the following choices is the best name for this shape? Now we have another shape. It only has one pair of parallel lines. It's a quadrilateral. None of the sides are equal. What is the best name for this shape? Now we're looking at this one again, and I want you to find the perimeter. And all the sides are in centimeters. Once again, there's extra numbers. Find the perimeter. In circles, what is the relationship between the diameter and the radius? This is a beautiful example. We have diameter and radius. However, you can see that these are different sized circles, so this radius and this diameter don't go together. We're going to use 3.14, or you can use the pi button on your calculator if you found that, and we want to see which of the following answers is closest to the area of this circle. All right, now we have a new circle, and we want to find the circumference of this circle. So which of the following answers is the closest to the circumference of this circle? Now we've got some angles, so make sure you've watched the video on complementary and supplementary angles. So this whole thing, angle AOB, is 90 degrees. So if COB is 35 degrees, what is the measure of angle AOC? So here we have a 70-degree angle and a 20-degree angle. Are these complementary or supplementary? And our very last one, this is line M, and it's a straight line, and that makes it 180 degrees. What is the measurement of X? All right, so now let's go ahead and go back and talk about our project. So hopefully you've watched these two videos. I want to show you a few things from this one video. So they start out with basically a glass of water, and then they're going to just draw some random lines. I've seen some students actually totally draw, just drop their ruler and draw some lines. If you don't have a ruler, you can use any kind of straight edge, whether it's the side of your cell phone, the side of an Amazon box, whatever it is you have around, okay? So they just drop their ruler sometimes, randomly in different places, and draw some lines. You're gonna need also a circle somewhere. So you can even grab something from the kitchen. There's a lot of circles in the kitchen, and trace some random circles on your paper as well. And so here you see them drawing some random lines. And then what I want you to see is they're taking this curve and they're moving it up right here. And they're going to do that, and they're going to move some of them up, some of them down, and they may even move some out and some in. And that gives it the shattered glass look. We're not coloring this week, but I just wanted you to see how this moved out, this moved in, and they've kind of just outlined some things more. So be careful before you start drawing really dark because it's harder to erase. Okay, so notice once again, they've moved this out, they've moved this in, they've moved this down. And so that's what I want you to do this week. You're going to shatter the glass and you're going to move things around. And so there's a couple of different ways you can do that. You can just add shapes if you want. So we've got our lovely Pooh Bear that we can visit again, and he's got all different shapes. You can see somebody grabbed a circle and just outlined that. And somebody here looks like they dropped a ruler. And you can see that they, with the circle right here, they've shattered it out and in. You can see that this line is shattered as well. The other thing you can do is randomly draw these different shapes or add them into your drawing like the Pooh Bear, because you're going to need all of these shapes. So if you don't remember what they are, you can Google them, look in your notes, watch the videos again. You need an acute triangle, a right triangle, an obtuse triangle, a transformation. So I included that song in this lesson so you know what a transformation is. And that's going to actually be in two different places. You need a rectangle. You need a parallelogram that's not a rectangle. You need a trapezoid. You need similar figures that have gone through a size change. If you don't know what that is, then you are welcome to Google it. And then a circle. Once again, we're not coloring it. So you can add shapes to the picture. And I wanted to show you that when glass shatters, you may have reflections in weird places. So we're going to come back to our Pikachu. And he had two faces. There's also somehow some side views and some different things and all this kind of stuff. So I just Googled mirror reflection, shattered mirror reflection. And you can see that, there's some eyeballs in different places and three noses, and like the shoulder is down here as well. Her fingers look kind of funky. And so you may wish to kind of echo is what I call that. So see, like her armpit basically is echoed right here. Her nose is echoed again here. And things are also moved up and moved down, angled differently. And this is what's really going to make your picture unique, and it's going to make it cubist. So really think about shattering the glass and making it look super cool. All right? So once again, we have the guitar. You can see that it's shattered here. The Winnie-the-Pooh. This turtle is not shattered, but it does have some shapes in it. It has some shapes in the shell, and it has some circles in different places. Some people are just not comfortable shattering. I think the shattering looks super cool, and I'd love to see it in your drawing. But if it's just not working for you, you're welcome to do more like a stained glass look. So this week in your drawing, you may be feeling like this guy right now. All right? Don't obsess over it. Just make sure that you have all of these shapes and make sure it kind of looks cool. We're going to check in on you at least once a week. If you're really needing some reassurance, you can email me a picture of your picture and I can give you some advice or tell you if you're on the right track. I'm happy to help you with that. And so you're going to shatter the glass and move things around. So we have these cool concepts of cubism. And so we're going to check in on you every Thursday and Friday. I want to see your drawings and I look forward to it. This is the exciting part. Have a great week.